maximum difference between even and odd frequency. We are given with a string s and an integer k, right? So a string s and an integer k. Now our task is to find the maximum difference between the frequency of two characters a and b in a substring subs of s such that subs has a size of at least k. So the substring has at least a size of k. That means it should be at least k or k plus 1 and so on, and it can be even n2, right? Character A has an odd frequency in subs and character B has an even frequency in subs. Return the maximum difference. Now, note that subs can contain more than two distinct characters. Now, let us look at an example. 1 double 2 double 3. K is 4. So, what I am doing is just considering the first substring which is of size 4. Now, let me write it 1 double 2 3. Now, if I need the character or the maximum difference, then odd frequency should be maximum and even occurrences or frequency should be minimum, right? So max odd minus minimum even. So odd is just 1 and 1, right? 1 is occurring for one time, character 1 is occurring for one time, character 3 is also occurring for one time. So maximum odd is just 1. Now minimum even is just 2 occurring for 2 times. Now 1 minus 2 will give us minus 1. Let us take another string substring which is of size 4. Now max odd is 0. Now at this time we don't consider this. Why? Because odd and even should be containing greater than 0, right? Only if the frequency is greater than 0, then only we consider that. Now let us go and take the substring of size 5. 1 double 2 double 3. Max odd is 1 again and minimum even is 2. 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Now double 1 triple 2 double 1. So the size is starting with k. So if I start and taking all the substrings double 1 2 1 double 2 triple 2 double 2 1 and 2 double 1 double 1 2 max odd and minimum even. Now in this example we'll be returning minus 1, right? Now let us see, in this example I have double 1 2. So max odd is 1 and minimum even is 2 minus 1. 1 and 2 again 1 2, so minus 1. Triple 2. So max odd is 0. So we don't consider it. 1 for max odd times and 2 is for 2 times. That means even is 2 minus 1. 2 is for 1 time. So max odd is 1 and 1 is for 2 times. Minimum even is 2. 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Now k can also be 4, right? Double 1 double 2. Let us start there. Double 1 double 2 and right, let us just add a character every time. 1 double 2 and then a 2 triple 2 and then a 1 and double 2 double 1, and this will not be considered, right? Now I have max odd is just 0 here, right? Here the max odd is 0. There is no character which is occurring for odd number of times, so we don't consider this. Now let us go for 1 triple 2. So max odd is 3, but minimum even is not occurring. There is no character which is having a frequency of even number of times, right? So this we will not be considering. Now 1 and triple 2, that's the same thing. Double 1 double 2, that's the same thing. So we don't be considering these things. Now let us go and check for the size of 5. Double 1 double 2 and then a 2, if I add it, then the size would be 5. 1 triple 2 and then a 1 triple 2 double 1, right? So I won't be considering this. Now let us see, max odd is 3 and min even is 2. 3 minus 2 is giving me 1. So for now the answer is was minus 1. Now it is updated to 1. Now I have again max odd, the character A is 2 and character B is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1 again. Now here the same thing, 3 minus 2 is 1 again. Let us just take the size of 6 and let us see what happens now. 1 double 1 triple 2 1 and 1 triple 2 double 1, and this won't be considered. Right, now max odd is 3, but min even I didn't get any min even, so I don't consider it. Max odd is 3 again, I didn't get any min even, so I don't consider it. So this is the last thing that I gonna take, right? I gonna take, right? So max odd is 3 and minimum even is 4. 3 minus 4 is minus 1. But from minus 1 and 1, 1 is greater. So the answer will be 1. But let us just take another example, and before taking it, let us see whether brute force works or not. Now, I would write an algorithm something like k starting from k will be starting from the k value and will be going k till n. Now, for every size of k, what I am doing, I am just starting with a index j is equal to 0 and going till j plus k. So, going till j plus k, and I am getting all the characters, right? All the character frequency. So, it would something take like big O of n square, which will not work. But if I see the constraints, that I would get a logic that the characters will be from 0 to 4. Let me show you that constraint. So S consists only of digits 0 to 4. Now, if I look at this 0 to 4, and if I get an intuition or something like a thought process that 0 can be my A value and the B value cannot be 0. Firstly, it cannot be 0, right? It would be 1 and 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, right? For 0, I got 4 values, and like 0, I got 1, I got 4 values, and for 2, I got 4 values, for 3, I got 4 values, and for 4, I got 4 values, right? 4 into 5 is just 20. Now, if I write something like 20, that means I am fixing A and B. And if I write an algorithm big O of n, which takes big O of n, right, and returns this algorithm, which taking big O of n, returns the maximum difference by considering each pair. Like for every pair in this 20 pairs of AB, then I would get the maximum difference at the end. Now let us see how. By taking an example, right? So the S is given as double two double one 3 double 2 4, and the K is given as 4. Now my intuition is, let us just fix A as 2 and B as 1. I am just checking that A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 1. Now count A. Let me take this count A and count B. What does this count A and count B denote? Count A at I denotes how many times A has occurred till index I. So A is 2. So 1, 2. This is not A, right? I am not incrementing my count A. So 2, 2, 2 again. Now it is right A. So 3. Now it is A. Then 4. 4 itself. Now count B. B is 1. So there is no B's till here. No B's till here. 1 B till here. 2 B's till here. 2, 2, 2. That's it. Now, my intuition is something like, just take this 3 and 2, just taking this. Now, if I just take something like here, this substring, then I would get 3. I'm just counting how many A's I got here, how many A's I got here, and how many B's I got here. Let us check how many A's I got. I got A's for 1 time. I got B's for 2 times. But instead, what if I say I got A's like the number of A's here minus the number of A's here? If you have solved some prefix sum problems, then you would be understanding how I got this 3 minus 2, number of A's are 1. 2 minus 0, number of B's are 2. it is resulting in -1. But bro, is this a size of at least k? Absolutely, it is at least k. The size is 4. This substring is of size 4. But what if I say my this substring would give me much better answer? Now let us see. 3. Till here I got 3. So what does this mean? Is I need another zeros previously before the 0th index. Now 3 minus 0 is giving me a's for 3 times. Now 2 minus 0 is giving me 2. 3 minus 2 will give me 1. So 1 will be the maximum answer. For now, I am just considering 1 will be maximum answer. But if you see here, if you see here, 3, 2, right? 3 and 2. Now, A is present, right? I'll write here, A is present for odd times, B is present for even times. Now, I am even considering some values to the left so that I can remove these values, then I would get again odd number of A's and even number of B's. Now let us see how. So by removing how many numbers I would get, how many number of A's that I need to remove so that the A's will be still odd. How many number of B's I need to remove such that the remaining B's will be even, still even. So what I am saying here is even after removing 2 from 3, I got 1. That's what the substring is, right? This substring is valid. Why? Because it is having odd number of A's and even number of B's. Even after removing 0, right? I am just removing 0 from 2. I got 2. That means even number of B's. Now, let us just take something like 5 and then 4. Now, by removing 1, I would result in 4. No, I don't do that. Now, if I remove 2 or even remove 4 or even remove something like just I can't remove more than 5. So I'm just removing 4. Then I would result in odd. Now if I remove, so odd. Now if I remove even number from 4, then I would result in even of 2. So for odd, I am removing odd, right? Sorry. So I'm just removing even. Here also I am removing even. Then I got, what did I got? Then I got odd and even, odd number of A's and even number of B's. Now let us see what if here 4 2, that even and even, what I need to remove for 4 and 2. That means I need to remove something like 3 or 1 from this 4. 3 or 1, which is odd. So when I got even number of A's, I need to remove odd. Now if I got even number of B's, as I already said, even again. Now if I got odd number of A's and odd number of B's, from odd number of B's I need to remove some B's, right? 5, right? I need to remove some B's such that I would result in even, right? Now let us see. From 5, if I remove 1, I would result in 4. But 1 is odd, so that's what I'll write here. So from odd, if I remove odd, then I will be resulting in even. Now from odd, I need to remove even every time, right? Now this is one pair and this is another and this is the third, right? Now even, then remove odd again. Now if I got odd, then remove odd, as I said. So I am removing odd number of occurrences, but I can't store all these 3 4 and 2 and then 1. I can't store where I got A odd number of times, where I got B even times, and all. So instead of doing that, I'll be doing one thing, that I would store this in a parity. I will tell you what is this parity. Now I am representing odd as 1. I'll write it. Now odd, I'm representing it as 1. Even, I'm representing it as 0. Now if I do the same thing, right, if I do the same thing here, count A and count B, I'm just dragging over here, and let me just change it. Now I got 1 0. That means odd, even, right? 0 is, I am just considering even. 2 0, even. 1, sorry, 2 1, even, odd. 2 1, even, odd. 2 2, even. Now 2 2 again, even. 3 2, odd, even. 4 2, even. Again 4 2, even. Now what is the benefit of doing like this? So I do the same thing here. For odd, let me take this. For odd even, 1 0, I need 0 0, right? For 0 0, I need 1 0. For 1 1, I need 0 1. For 0 1, I need 1 1. I'll tell you what are these 0 zeros and all. So take the same thing again, right? I just got a substring here. I just said that I got a substring here. Now I considered this substring. So 1 0, 1 0. So 1 0, right? 1 0, go to 0 0, right? Go to 0 0, and if I remove till there 0, that means till there the number of A's and B's, then I would get odd number of A's and even number of B's, right? So that's how we solve this problem, right? I think for now it's clear, but I know that I got here this 0 0 and this is k, but here also I got a 0 0, but I don't consider it. Why? Because k is 4. But how do I know? The first thing how do I know is subs at least size of k. And the second thing is, how do I know that I need to remove only this? Why don't I go and remove this? Let me tell you that instead of removing here, what if I remove the first something like, what if I consider the whole substring? That means I am removing. I'm just assuming that I am just removing zeros. So I am just assuming I am removing 0. Now this would result in maximum difference, right? 3 minus 2 is giving me here at this point, 3 minus 2 is giving me maximum difference. But if I do here, then I would get 3 minus 2 is 1, 2, sorry, right, okay, 3 minus 2 here, this 2, 3 minus 2 is 1, and 2 minus 0, 2 minus 0 is 2, 1 minus 2 is giving me minus 1. But if you see 2 minus 0, the difference is 2. 0 minus 0, the difference is 0. What I want to say is, if I need the maximum difference, then the first one should be maximum and the second one should be the minimum. So this one, the left one, the substring, right? This is my substring, and here at this point it should be minimum, right? So what is the minimum point for this R? It is this? No, this is not. This is the minimum point. Now, I got this minimum point by just subtracting 0 and 0, right? 2 and 0. But how do you say that this difference makes, right? This difference, I can trust this difference, right? I'll tell you how. Now, I am saying that 2 0 and 3 2. Now I am just making this as, don't bother about this. So this is my substring. This is the substring I am considering. Now I have 2 minus 0. Let me name previous A is equal to 2 and previous B is equal to 0. Count of A till here, right? That's why count is like a prefix sum going till index I. Count A is 3 and count B is 2. Now what I did, count A minus previous A is the number of occurrences of A in this substring. So count A minus previous A. Now this is the number of occurrences of A minus what I did is number of occurrences of B. So count B minus previous B, right? So if I rewrite it something like count A minus count B minus previous A minus previous B. So instead of going and checking with count A minus previous A and count B minus previous B, I just store previous A minus previous B. But the problem here isn't end, right? I have 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. But how do I store all these numbers? I would store this 0, 0 as 0, 0, 1 as 1, 1, 0 as 2, 1, 1 as 3. Now, here I got 0, 0 and also here too, even if there is no index, I will be storing for 0, 0. I get the minimum difference as 0. As I said, the B or something like this one should be minimum, right? The one which we are subtracting, the one which we are subtracting from other thing, the bigger thing is the bigger thing will be here, right? And the smaller thing will be previously, right? So I would just store the best of all of these, best of 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now here 1, 0 is just like 1, 0 is nothing but 2. So the difference is 1 minus 0, which is 1. Till now the minimum is this, and at 0 it is 0. Now here I got 0, 0 and it is saying that the difference is 2. But as I said, I would store only the minimum. The minimum from 0 to is 0. 0 and 2 is 0. Now I got 0, 1, right? But if you see, I would stop here. Let me check. If I stop here, right, my condition, I am just writing a condition while I would write while this L, I am making this as L, this as L, and this would be my R. So R minus L plus 1 is greater than or equal to K, right? Now R minus L, let me check, right? If I just say this as 0, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, this is completely alright. So this is my L and I would stop R minus L is greater than or is equal to K. Let us see. Again, I need to consider another condition. I'll tell you what is that condition. Now I am just storing the best parity or best difference, right, for every parity 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now, how do I write a code for this? I think for now you have clearly understood that I got an R. I am shifting this or shrinking this window of left and right. I am just shifting or shrinking this L, right? Now, the thing is I got this count A and count B. I got this previous A and previous B, right? For previous A and previous B. Now let us just say that we got something like, let me write the algorithm, right? First thing I am taking A as, wait a second, A as 0 and going till 4. For B as 0 and going till 4. If A is equal to B, then just skip it. Just continue it. Now, there is another things that I need to consider. The first thing is best of the size is 4 and initializing everything with infinite. Now, after that, I would consider count A is equal to 0, count B is equal to 0, previous A is equal to 0, and previous B is equal to 0. These are the counts that I am considering. Now, what is this previous A? If the window is like this, here I would get the count A and count B. Now, previous A is this at this point how many A's I got and how many B's I got will be stored in previous A and previous B. Okay, now I got previous A and previous B. Now what I say is for R is equal to 0 and going till n, I would consider an L, right? L is equal to minus 1. So sorry for the mistakes. Will be L will be minus 1 and the previous A plus previous B, right? This one is 0. So best of 0, as I said, will be 0. Now I'm just considering what if k value is just 1. That means I have to consider when I got L is minus 1. So I would write for R is equal to 0 and going till n, and I would just add count A will be added if S of R is equal to A. S of R is equal to A, then count A plus plus. Then S of R is equal to B, then count B plus plus. Right? So this is my for loop. But after this, I need to consider while while R minus L is greater than or equal to K. And as I said, there will be another condition. I'll tell you what is that condition by changing some color that I got A for 3 times and I'm considering this substring is starting with 0, 1, 2 indices. Now count A is 3, which is perfectly odd, and count B is 0. Now here the difference here is the difference here is 0, right? Now the previous A is 0 and previous B is 0. I'm just considering this substring, right? Now let me tell you that I would not consider this. Why? Because only if A is at least 2, at least it should be 2, as it is even, it should be 2, right? Only if count B minus previous B, count B minus, let me write it by changing, right? So and count B minus previous B should be at least 2, then only I would consider it. Now I got R minus L is greater than or equal to K, and I am just shrinking this L. Now while I am shrinking this, I am just removing this character. Now I am just removing this character. But before removing this, I need to check whether this substring, right? I'm just removing this character, but before removing, I need to check whether this substring is valid, and also I need to store this. It might be 00, 01, 10, or 11. I need to get 0. What is the parity for that? Is it 0 or 1 or 2 or 3? And I need to store previous A minus previous B, right? Previous A minus previous B, right? So that only if it is minimum, then best of the parity that I will get here as left status. Now, let me write that over here. Now, let us get that status by left status is equal to get status of previous A comma previous B. Now what is this get status function? We need to write that again. Get status of, I'm just getting this count of A as, let me name it as previous A, that's it, previous A and previous B. Now if previous A is something like 0 and previous B is something like 1, that means A is considered for even number of times and B is considered for something like odd number of times 1. Then 0 and 1 should be something like 0 and 1. So how do I get it? 0 or 1 would give me 1. That's what 0, 1 represent. 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1 0 is 2 and 2 or 0 would give me 2. Now 1 1 is odd, right? 1 1 is 3, something like 3. Now what I'll do, 1 0 or 1, that would give me 3, right? 0 0 is nothing but 0 or 0 will give me 0. So I just do it, right? Previous A mod 2 left shift for one time or previous B will be returned for the get status. Now I got this get status and best of the left status is equal to minimum. As I said, I would store the minimum of best of left status comma previous A minus previous B. So this is how the best of left status is changed and left plus plus. Now I would remove this, right? When I am incrementing this left plus plus, then I need to increment the left, the previous A and previous B. Why? Because the left was minus 1. Now it is incremented. If I have double 2 like here, then A should be incremented. The left is here now. Is it A? Then I would increment previous A. And this previous A is important as I am getting the status here. So after incrementing A, this left, then only I would write if S of left is equal to A, then previous A plus plus. If S of right is equal to B, previous B plus plus, right? So after this loop, then I would get what is the right status. This is something like the right status. Now I got it as 1 0, then I am looking for 0 0. So right status is equal to get status of count A comma count B. Now here I got the right status. Now for 1 0 I said 0 0. For 0 0 I said 1 0. For 1 1 I said 0 1. For 0 1 I said 1 1. How do you get all this? I can get this by just doing, let me name it as target status. Target status is equal to, right? I got this all right by right status doing XOR. For right status, XOR 0B10, right? By doing this, you would get the target status for this right status. Now I got this target status. That means I got for 0 0 I got 1 0. For 1 1 1 0 I got 0 0. Now only if best of target status is not equal to int max, that means infinity in integer range, then only I would consider answer is equal to max of answer comma. For now I got count A minus count B. As I said, count A minus count B minus best of target status. So best of targets status would get the minimum for 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, 1 1. So for 0 0 it would store it would store for 1 0. If the right status is 0 0, it would go to 1 0. And what is the minimum one? As I said, it will store the minimum every time. I think the writing is not just like a clear one, so you might get confused. So I have given the code link in the description. Go and check it, right? So the max of answer, comma, count A minus count B minus best of target of answer. And after this, I will be ending our all the loops and return the answer at the end. Now you can watch the code here. That's the same thing as I explained in the algorithm, right? Now n is s dot size. Here count A plus is equal to s of right is equal to a. The same thing I just wrote if condition there. Now count a and left is equal to -1, right? Right minus left is greater than or equal to k. Now this is indeed a hard problem with an acceptance rate of 19 percentage, right? Now you need to watch it again if you have any confusion. Now even after watching it twice, if you have any doubt, please comment in the comment section. And if you understood it, then like this video, do share to friends and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.